fired.
We got fired. Every single last one of us got fired.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. Hey y'all, I just wanted to pop in here and briefly have a conversation about this incessant need to film yourself at your place of employment behaving a damn fool. For some reason, people feel the need to ghetto it up, hoochie mama it up, be absolute degenerates at their place of employment. That brings me to the story where you have these 8 Chick-fil-A workers and they're doing this young ho trend where you bounce your titties, or, you know, for the guy, your chitties, where you bounce them to the beat of a song. And it's supposed to be like part of this whole young ho thing. The young ho trend is multi-layered. You have the, I don't give a damn about my belongings, so I tear all my stuff up and I'm careless. And then you also have this part of the trend where you just like stand there and you bounce your titties or your chitties around. You have these employees, they engaged in this trend while in the uniform, while on the premises. If they had done this trend off the clock, in their own clothes, not associated with Chick-fil-A, and they got fired, then I might have a little bit more sympathy or empathy for the workers, even though I do think this trend is very classless and tasteless. I don't think that it is grounds for you to get fired if you're doing it in your own home, if you're doing it off of company property and not in any way connecting the company to your miscreant behavior. However, that's not at all what happened here. They are on the clock in the Chick-fil-A uniform, dancing this way. And the problem with this is you've now associated the brand with some foolishness. And we already know that Chick-fil-A is a Christian business. Now, even if it's not a Christian business, a company might not want their brand being associated with ghetto hood rat nonsense. They might not want their brand associated with over-sexualization because, I mean, look at what they're doing. Clearly, this is something that is sexualized. Honestly, you know, just from a visual standpoint, taking a step back from how this trend is classless, the bodies aren't bodying, okay? The bodies are not bodying to even be doing this trend, but they're doing it anyways. It looks sloppy. It looks absolutely sloppy. And if I were a brand owner, I would not want my brand associated with this level of sloppy behavior. So yes, the company had every right to fire them because you're making the company look bad. What kind of riffraff do you have making our food? What kind of riffraff do you have behind that counter? I don't understand the need to engage in this behavior on the clock, in the uniform, at the Chick-fil-A. Like, what do you expect to happen? Do you think they're gonna just promote you? Do you think they're going to see, hey, you gave us free promotion? No, they're gonna be upset because now you've associated their business with some foolishness. You've associated their business with some ratchetness. So these employees, they deserve to get their job yanked. Absolutely. But see, this whole concept of filming yourself at work, it extends beyond just these broads and that one dude shaking what they don't have or too much of. It goes beyond just that because you also had this situation.
We had them apple bottom jeans.
She's the dancing doctor who made headlines with videos like this, singing and gyrating in the operating room during tummy tucks and butt lifts. Her name is Dr. Wendell Boutte, but she liked to be called Dr. Booty. Operating room antics in 2018.
Got a banging body and a smile to match.
Dr. Boutte lost her license and was ordered to shut down her cosmetic surgery practice in Atlanta. Now she's back in the beauty business under a new name in another state. She's now calling herself Catherine Davis and works at the Eden Medical Spa in Austin, Texas. The website describes her as a retired dermatologist who no longer practices medicine, but it also says she can perform the most advanced aesthetic procedures with supreme effectiveness. And get this, yep, she's still dancing.
So it's not enough that we have fast food workers gyrating, flailing, around. It's not enough that we have that, but we also have surgeons, people who you entrust your life with, filming TikToks while you're on the operating table. And honestly, this is so disturbing because when you sign up to get surgery, you are entrusting that doctor to keep you alive. You are entrusting that doctor literally with your life. I can only imagine how disturbed and how disgusted the patients are if they've seen this video of them laying down unconscious and this broad is just slicing and dicing away at them to the beat of a song. Over here making facial expressions, not focused on the job at hand, but rather focused on dancing to hip hop music, focused on making a TikTok rather than focusing on the surgery itself. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure you have to be focused 1000% when you're operating on somebody. That's just my sneaking suspicion. I've had 2 C-sections, and during both, my doctor was focused, okay? My doctor, the nurses, they were chit-chatting, but they were focused on making sure they got our babies out safely and did not maim me in the process. This whole concept of filming yourself at work, it's not just silly dancing at the fast food or in a clothing store or at the Walmart. No. You also have people that are nurses, people that are doctors, people that are in positions where they need undivided attention on what they're doing, and they're too busy filming it for TikTok. They want to be TikTok famous at your expense. So this whole situation is absolutely disgusting to me. I do believe this broad got charged. So let's go ahead and read up a little bit more about this case. So the doctor is rocked by lawsuits after leaving patient with brain damage, recording herself dancing and singing on tape during surgery. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This wasn't even a TikTok trend. This broad released this for YouTube. The video was released originally from 2018 showing Dr. Wendell Boutte, I don't even know if that's how you say her last name, but I don't give a damn. F this broad. A board-certified dermatologist posting over 20 YouTube videos of herself singing, rapping, and dancing during cosmetic procedures with patients under anesthesia, including custom lyrics to Bad and Bougie and assistants as backup dancers. So it's not even just that the doctor isn't focused, the nurses are not focused. And when you are under anesthesia, so many things can happen. There have been women that wake up and they're pregnant because some jackass, while they're under anesthesia, grapes them. When you are under, that is a very vulnerable position to be in. As a consequence, 5 malpractice lawsuits were pending, 4 settled, patients alleging infections, disfigurement, and brain damage. You can die from the infections, you can die from the brain damage, and when you're disfigured, I mean, if you're going in for plastic surgery, the whole point is to fix something, is to restore something. So if you're leaving disfigured, then, I mean, it defeats the whole entire purpose. In one case, this person suffered from cardiac arrest during a tummy tuck, leading to permanent brain damage. What in the actual hell? You're not even operating on the brain, but because of your negligence, this person had brain damage requiring full-time care by her son. You've successfully maimed her. Not only are you hurting the person that's on the operating table, but also you're hurting the family because now the son has to be a full-time caregiver to his mom. She shouldn't be able to settle these cases. Let's be so for real. This bitch should be behind bars. She should be behind bars. Honestly, put her to death. I'm sorry. You maim somebody like this, especially over something that could be avoided, you should be put to death. You know, in Sandraland, we have no tolerance for foolishness, especially with you playing with people's lives. This woman will never be able to live her life the way that she wanted to. You've successfully taken that from her. So in Sandraland, she would get the guillotine. I don't understand why all these nurses and everybody else was on board with this foolishness. I see stuff like this, and clearly the doctor is black, and I'm not saying that there aren't white doctors that engage in this or Latino doctors that engage in this. I have no idea. There probably are. But if we're looking at this case right in front of us, and we already know that we have the stigma, thanks to the Democrats, of being labeled DEI hires. I'm sorry, but this is DEI behavior. How the hell did you graduate medical school? How the hell did you get any type of licensing when this is how you conduct yourself? You should not be allowed anywhere near anybody if you are this immature that you can't put your freaking phone down to focus on a surgery. You want to do it for the gram. You want to dance. You want to rap. You want to do all this stuff. Why not just do that after the fact? Why do you have to do that with somebody on the operating table? They're paying you to operate on them, and you're over here filming videos. Now, granted, I don't think TikTok was around at that time. The point remains the same. You're filming this for completely different purposes, and you're risking their lives. When someone is sliced open and you are sifting through their body, you need to give them your undivided attention. There should be nothing on your mind except keeping that person alive and solving whatever problem they've come to you for. And Justin's mentioned this before, and I agree with him 1000%. These doctors, I don't care if it's just for plastic surgery, all of these doctors that operate, they should be required to wear a body cam, and they should not be allowed to turn it off, because there needs to be accountability for this. How does this go unchecked? They said there were 20 videos. Actually, excuse me, over 20 videos of this foolishness. It's not enough that we have the fast food workers shaking their tail for the views, but we also have doctors who are supposed to be respected individuals engaging in that very same behavior while endangering the lives of the people on their operating table. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole video? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, stop doing this? When you go to work, focus on that job. Don't ghetto up the workplace with this foolishness. Focus on the job that you are being paid to do, and then do this in your free time, off the clock, out of the uniform. Or do you disagree with me where it's like, they're just having fun, and why don't you just let them have fun? Sandra, you're no fun. Y'all kill me with that. Oh my God, it's just fun. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that function is available. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.